Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 14 of Mondayish. This is like 2 weeks of days of doing stuff. I had somewhere I was going with that, and then I completely lost my track of thought because 14 is 2 weeks, but yeah.
Absolutely. Nailed it, man. That was perfect.
Mate, smooth with a capital smooth right there.
And you thought we'd get better over time, chat. It's not what's been promised, and it's not what's being delivered.
I don't remember promising smooth.
Oh dear, we're professionals here. Hello Twitch chat, hello YouTube, hello Spotify, podcast services, all of those, iHeartRadio, because Jim always likes to bring them up. Have we had a single person listen to us on iHeartRadio, Jim?
I don't. Well, actually, I can't. I don't think I've got that granular analytics for it because I run it all through Spotify and it goes through the other platforms via an RSS feed. Like I get Spotify listens and other.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. But no, I haven't had a look at the stats recently, so I have to have a go see if any of you fans out there are listening to us on those podcast platforms.
There we go. There's your challenge. There's your challenge, chats across the board. I want the weirdest platform that you've managed to find Mondayish on.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a good challenge. Actually, I do like that, and I do like the audience interaction that we get here on Twitch, which is not. I like putting it up on YouTube, but I think that there's something about getting the chat going as well with different suggestions.
That's it. I've had a few people comment on it recently because of the VODs from streams go up. That people have been watching the VODs and they catch themselves like typing to try to type into chat and then realizing, wait, Dave's not live. It's 8:00 in the morning. I'm at work and I've got Dave on in the background. This is not he's not going to see this.
Yeah, and I remember doing that one early on when I was still getting to know streaming and different streamers, and I've like started watching them and I'm typing in chat, and like these you could still type in chat and it still would appear, but it was obviously a VOD,
no.
So it was just like you type. Why isn't this mongrel answering me? Damn it! But yeah, it was interesting times. Interesting times.
Oh dear. Man.
Speaking of interesting times, Dave, what have you been playing lately?
Look, it's the start-off question as always, isn't it? Not much this week, honestly. I've been playing a fair bit of WoW as normal. And I finished off Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. So I got the 4 endings of that and finished the platinum off today while having a sick day from work because I was dying. Fortunately, I'd already beaten all the hard parts, so it was more of like just like redo a couple of boss fights and things like that. But it was really fun. It's a Souls-like. I think I've talked about it a little bit before. It's a Souls-like. It really suggests, like, there's a broken build. There is a broken build. I didn't use it. I did sort of the parry longsword build. And it's just sort of made me realize Sekiro would be way better. So it might be time for Dave to journey into Sekiro as one that I need to try it out because I really like Soulsborns and that kind of thing. And yeah, it was fun. It was fun playing a Chinese developer, very different from a lot of the other ones. So yeah, I really liked it.
How
about you, man? What have you been playing?
Not a lot last week. Like with being sick and whatnot. My version of sickness is when I get sick, I sleep. So like I slept for 2 days straight. Still got a bit of it. You can probably hear it a little bit in my voice and probably a sniffle every now and then as well. But I did start a new character on SWTOR, mainly because SWTOR has companions, so they're just NPCs that follow you around and they can fill the heal DPS or tank roles for you. But there's a list of them that you can romance, and there's even achievements related to that. And I finally gone, you know what, I'm going to get the achievements for this. So I've started a new character with a specific goal of romancing one companion so I can get that achievement and just tick that box. Yeah.
Achievement Hunter. We're going into your Achievement Hunter arc. I love it.
Well, it's only on SWTOR because I will say, like, I've done so much in SWTOR that every now and then particularly when at the moment there's a thing called Galactic Seasons on. So there's like a rewards track and everything. So that's not too bad to do. I do the weeklies on that, but I'm getting to the end of the rewards track. And so I'm going, you know what, I want to find something else to do in here. So I'll go back and like for a while there, I was 100% achieving each of the planets. And I think I've got to my 4th or 5th planet to 100%, and there's just like it's a boring one because it's killed so many enemies. Like it's killed 2,500 enemies on
Oh my
this
god,
planet on both factions. So I got to do it Imperial
that's
and
too many.
Republic. Yeah,
That's just a silly number.
yeah,
It's it's one of those things. Sometimes achievement design and platinum design, trophy design, all that just is a pain in the
yeah.
ass.
Well, I'm not starting from scratch on those, at least, because with all the characters that I've taken through these planets over the years, I think the Imperial one was already at um like about 1,000 to go, and the Republic one's got about 800 to go. So it's not so bad, and it's on a planet with high mobs. So, and it's a low level planet, so I can just go through and go bang, 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 and yeah,
Yeah.
kill them. Yeah,
Nah, fair enough. But it's still like that's just a lot. You know,
it is.
I used to appreciate it when I was younger, where I didn't work full time, all those kind of things. That was when I used to have the dream of like getting every achievement in World of Warcraft or getting
Yeah,
all of that. And I still do it with platinums and that kind of thing, but I have a real issue with games that don't let you get a platinum in one go.
yeah.
Games that need you to play through multiple times, or games with easily missable trophies are a pain,
Mhm.
and they upset me every time.
Especially big long ones. Like I think we've spoken about it on here before, but like there was an achievement in Final Fantasy VII remake to like get Cloud in these, or get Cloud or get Tifa in
The
these
dresses, yeah.
dresses. Yeah, it's such a pain in the ass to
No.
do, because like you can't just go back and replay the chapters. You've got to start, because I think it's chapter 3 where the initial setting of that what dress is made, and then you've got to continuously play the chapters up to where the dress comes out, and it's just like, oh, I'm not interested in that. But
There is same series, and it's probably the one that pissed me off the most is in Final Fantasy X2, the
mm,
remake, so 10-2, which cool game. I really enjoyed all that kind of thing. There's achievement for like talking to all the Moogles,
mm.
or it's something like that. I think it was the Moogles. It's been a while since I played it. There is one in the prologue that is the only one you can't get back to.
Oh,
So
that
if you
would be
miss that one,
annoying.
you're cooked.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's just those kind of ones are so rough. Or like Wu Chang is not designed very well, so it was a similar one there where like going too far down a cavern would end side quests. Like just would despawn people, or all that kind of stuff. It was just one of those like I specifically sat down with a cool. After this boss, go do X, Y, Z. Cool.
mm.
Now you can go explore again. It was really like I still enjoyed it, but it is one of those. It's just like this is not the best way.
Is it
I
kind
shouldn't
of
be
an
playing
indie
it this way.
game?
Oh no, it would be double A, I reckon. It was sort
Okay.
of a Stellar Blade or that kind of level. It's not a triple A developer. It's by 505 Games, who I'm pretty sure went broke and no longer exist. So I won't be getting a sequel. um,
Hope there wasn't a
but
cliffhanger ending.
no, the true ending was a pretty good closeout, but it's well worth checking out.
Mm.
It's on Game Pass, it's on PS Plus. Like definitely if you like Soulsborns and all that kind of thing, there's a bit of fun. If you want a really easy time, there is a really cheesy build on it as well. So, and yeah, Jeppy thought it was still a blade. It has the same boobacious part
Aye.
of the game. The character is very revealed in some outfits, but no, it was a fun game.
Yeah, nice. I think some point I think I'm going to have to play a Souls-like game, because the closest thing that I think I've gotten to one is probably Jedi Fallen Order, and even that wasn't super Souls-like. I don't think.
It could be. I remember playing it on the hardest difficulty, and it did have that sort of Souls vibe to it,
Mm.
but it's easier.
Yeah,
Like yeah, as Cheppy's saying, it's like this is the armor with the best stats. It was like by far the highest numbers on every resistance, and it was just a bikini. I was just like, yeah, I look weird. I look weird playing this.
Magic Bikini.
But fully recommend Elden Ring.
Mhm.
Elden Ring was the first one I played. Because I was never sure if I was going to like Souls likes and that. I sort of thought I probably would,
Mhm.
like because I like hard games, I like completions, things like that. But Elden Ring really surprised me. It was one that I got into and I was just hooked. I
Mm.
First day I think I streamed it for about 10 hours, played it the next day for like another 10 hours, and I just went, guys, I want to play this too much. I'm finishing it off stream and smashed through it in essentially a week.
Yeah.
Like that is one where I went and did everything and just loved it. And if you're looking for a Souls, like I really do think Elden Ring is probably a good one
Yeah.
to go to.
Yeah, I'll have to give it a look because I don't mind a bit of a challenge in video games. You know, I do like. I absolutely adored Hollow Knight playing that, and Silk Song is still on my list to go and play. And like you, Dave, I played some Mario World ROM hacks, and like I don't mind a bit of a challenge with that, even if I couldn't beat Quickie World 1, which is supposedly the one of the easier hacks. In fairness, I got through all of that except the last level. So like I think I spent 6 hours in Sulfuring Castle and I just couldn't get past it. But I feel like I feel like I like a bit of a challenge. So Souls likes might be next on my list.
No, I love it. Well, it's one that's on my list coming up, and you might like is Nine Souls. Is one that I've seen a fair bit of that I want to get into, which is apparently the last boss is apparently arguably the hardest boss in any Metroidvania ever. Like people go, yeah, it makes Hollow Knight look pretty cruisy. So I'm interested to see how that goes.
Well, see, and see, that's what like there were a couple of bosses that I kind of noped out of in Hollow Knight playing that through, but I think they were kind of more DLC bosses.
Yeah,
but
okay.
For the most part, the Hollow Knight, while still, I'm going to say this, while still challenging, I was expecting it to be harder with the way people were talking about it. So like, I don't mind a good hard Metroidvania boss.
There's a get good aspect, you know, like I sort of was reading about the bosses I was fighting and things in Wuchang, for instance, and people are going, oh, you know, recommended level 85. I'm going, well, I just beat it at 55. Like those games, you can level up, get yourself more stats, those kind of things. Metroidvania ones often have like the solution, you know, like what did I play through? I played through Ender Lilies. If you haven't played that one, phenomenal Metroidvania. I really enjoyed it. But it has a final boss that's really hard. I was struggling on it. So I went, oh, you know, I'll check out because I'd done the boss 3 times. This was like the 4th time for the true ending. It's like, is there an easier way to do this? And someone's like, use this spell, use this spell. If you look in the descriptions, they explain that it's like, you know, if you read the lore, it's like, this is made to counter the true blood or whatever it was called. And it just like destroys the boss. It's like, oh, that was actually a puzzle.
Yeah.
Like, and I really like that kind of thing.
Like, did you ever play Tunic?
I haven't. I really want to. I know I would love it. Like, I know I would really enjoy it.
Yeah. And it is such a game that rewards discovery, and it is just it is Fox Zelda, but the way it does things is so cool. And like there's a reveal fairly early on, where when I say fairly early on, it's like an hour or two into the game, and it suddenly just doesn't recontextualize things, but this thing that's like a core mechanic of the game has always been available, but you don't learn about it because like one of the mechanics of the game is you find pieces of the manual to learn stuff that you can do and
100%,
and things like that. So you find the page of the manual that tells you you can use this thing, but you could always use it from the beginning if you knew it existed.
And I love that about games, like games that when you come through a second time, you've actually learned so much about it. You know, The Witness is a really cool example of that, a cool little puzzle game that lets you go in your own direction and all that. But if you know the solutions or if you found the deeper puzzles, there's more. Blueprints is actually a really cool version of that. I won't talk too much about it because I still recommend that everyone plays Blueprints, but plays it blind. Like seriously, if you haven't played Blueprints, go play it, get a notebook, actually take notes by hand and all that. That's what I did. And it is an awesome, awesome experience. But yeah, no, I love those kind of games where you sort of recontextualize a lot of what's going on, or like, you know, lore-wise, when the ending cutscene like sets up New Game Plus or things like that is always fun.
Yeah.
Instead of Blueprints, I think I'm stupider. Look, that is definitely the feeling when you start Blueprints. Blueprints takes a while for it to click in your head, but legitimately anything that you think might be a puzzle, probably is, and screenshots and notebooks, and I had so many handwritten notes for that game by the time I finished my time with it that it's just like it's amazing. It's so cool. If you haven't played it, Jim, play
I've played as much of it as I want to play, and I did like it, but I just didn't have the patience for. Like, I loved everything it was trying to do, and it probably gets back a bit
That is
to
so fair.
and leads into our kind of loose topic for tonight, which we spoke a little about it last week, but it was fully suggested by Solaris in Dave's Discord about talking about games that surprised you, whether good or bad. But like Blueprints is one of those, because I am not a fan of roguelikes. Like, and at its core, Blueprints really is kind of a roguelike, where you and once again, we don't want to talk about it too much, but the way it does things, and you go through and you don't die in it. So you get to an end of a day and it resets, and your journey through the house begins anew. To put it without giving too much spoilers, but like, roguelikes and roguelites are not really my cup of tea. I'm not a huge fan of them, because I am, let's be honest, sometimes it's a skill issue, and I just want to be able to know that enemy come from there, I'm ready to shoot that enemy, kind of thing, you know? But there are games sometimes that break through that and surprise me a bit. One of those is Hades. Hades, not so much for the combat, because the combat still, like, as good as it was, it still kind of frustrated me that I couldn't get good and progress further in the game. But every time that you failed in that, you came back to that hub world, and there was just more story, and it was all just so gorgeously put together. So the story for that drove it for me a bit. And the game that actually helped distill what I like and don't like about roguelites was, there was an indie game called Aura of Worlds, which is probably, I don't think it's very well known, but
That's one.
I like the way it did it, because it didn't just, it didn't randomly generate a room. It randomly generated the whole world for you to get through. And so you could choose to go in and fight something, or you could just choose to skip it and make your way to the exit. Now, doing more stuff made things easier for you later on down the line, but it was a risk for your health. So it was a risk reward thing. And, but it gave me the agency to do it. And so, but where you do room by room, like Hades, you get a choice in what direction you go through the room, but you don't get a choice of, like, to just not fight, I guess, is where I'm at there. Yeah.
No, look, I get it, and I'll admit that roguelikes are not something that I generally latch onto. I generally will play through, beat them once or twice, but I'm never one that's sort of engaged on ascension systems, you know, to steal from Slay the Spire, or what's it called in Hades chat, Heat or something like that, or Alarm, or I can't remember what it was, but like,
or going back even further, like mobile games like Cookie Clicker and things like that, where you would get to a certain level and then you reset back to the beginning, and
Oh yeah, exactly. It's like what's the new one that I've been enjoying looking at the moment is Everything is Crab, which if you haven't seen that, it's like you start as a little blob and you evolve up by eating meat and stuff, and you get, you know, pick 3 powers, pick one of 3, all that kind of thing. It's really cool. And like each time you beat the final boss, it adds another challenge. So, you know, if you beat level 4 Ascension, at level 5 you spawn in a random zone. At level 6 your bosses have an extra shield. You know, and like Slay the Spire, really well known for it, all that kind of thing. I never go all the way through. You know what I mean? Like I always get like 2 or 3 in, I go, I've beaten this boss 3 or 4 times. I've solved the build, you know, and that's when I sort of struggle, and it sort of feeds back into games that surprised you. The one that probably surprised me the most recently, Balatro. Balatro. I thought that I would bounce off that immediately. Turns out that is a game style that I just adore. You know, Balatro, Clover Pit, Racoin was one that we played recently. All these games are just gambling instilled into a roguelike is apparently something that just scratches a thing in my brain because I love all of those. Is Vampire Survivor style games roguelike? I would say yes.
Yep.
Because you run through, you die, you start again, but you can get permanent buffs. Same as everything is Crab is basically a vampire. People argue whether it's Vampire Survivor or not, but kind of is. Lotto games, scratchy, scratchy. Like, yeah, gambling games with roguelike elements apparently a big thing I love because I've always liked incremental games like Cookie Clicker, things like that. But no, Racoin, phenomenal game. Really loved it.
So how do
Probably
you
ever
go
put the
with
mod up
like
for
deck-based roguelikes then?
I like them. I haven't given them enough time, if that makes sense. I've been playing through Monster Train at the moment. I've just beaten the first ascension on that. I am enjoying it. I really like it. Again, I sort of found a build that works, and now I'm worried that that's all I'm going to try for every time until, like, just force my way through. I have not put enough time into Slay the Spire, and I really do want to just pick up Slay the Spire 2 and play through some of that. So,
Is the
like that
interesting
card game. I
point.
assume you mean Monster Train, Jeppy.
Interesting point from Yeen in chat, and I hate that it's kind of technically right in that League of Legends is a roguelike. Because like it fits that description. Yeah.
But you don't get permanent buffs.
No, but so it's
roguelike, not roguelite.
It's a yeah. I think I've given you the history of that term before, haven't I? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we have. We've talked about it on here.
We don't need to go over that again. Go listen to older episodes if you want to find out where the term roguelike and roguelite came from. No,
much
Jeffy,
like any,
you can go and listen to older episodes and find out.
Much like any 30-plus gamer, Jim knows exactly 8 games and will
Exactly.
refer to them exclusively.
Exactly. and I don't get much time to play games, unfortunately, which is but there's also games that like stick in your memory, and usually those are the games that I played to death as a kid because we got games at Christmas and birthdays, and so you just played those games to death. And if you were lucky, you had a mate that also had a console, the same console as you, so you might exchange games and swap them for a bit.
No, 100%. Or the old video game store, like the video store, and that having games you could rent for a week.
Oh,
it was always a great time. Yeah, no, it's roguelites are definitely something that I have a thing where I will happily play a really hard game. I despise runbacks. And it's a me thing. Like, I know that it's a polarizing, I don't think it's a hot take. It might be a hot take. I like a game where if I die to the boss, I could just respawn right at the boss. Like, give me an option. Go, do you want to respawn at the boss, or do you want to respawn at the safe zone and go rebuild your character? What do you want to do? Once I'm at the boss, I've shown I can get there. Let me just whack at my head against the wall until I beat. Because I'll do that. I'll fight a boss 20, 30, 40 times and finally get it. It's when I have to run back and then I die on the way back and I just go, I'm over it. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think because once again, Hollow Knight's still recent memory for me, and that one has a little bit like they have a decent run back to the boss, but I never felt like it was overwhelmingly a long run back as long as I picked a nearby save point.
That was actually one I had in mind when I talked about it, because the first time I tried to play Hollow Knight, that's what pissed me off enough that I stopped. I got to a hard boss and I was learning the boss, but I was spending, a minute, not long, minute or so to get back, then dying in 20 seconds and not learning anything, and then getting annoyed, so I have to run back the minute. And Inscription, that's the one you were talking about. Absolutely. Inscription's a great roguelike. And, very, very much a roguelike. If you haven't played that, chat and Jim, get into that, but don't read anything about it. Just go into it. Do not look at the wiki.
The art style put me off in that a little bit, I got to say. Like, I wasn't a fan of the art style of Inscription, so I kind of left it alone.
Ugly. It is ugly, but it is a phenomenally well-made game. Like, it is... If you can get through chapter 1, if you can get through chapter 1 and do, like, 10 minutes of chapter 2, you'll know whether it's something for you or not. Okay. Like, you'll know whether it's something that you will want to finish. I did I got the platinum on it, so I did the infinite mode. I did all the story mode, all the secrets, all that kind of thing. Like I really do like Inscription. Inscription is a really cool game. Again, made by one person, and I'm starting to realize how much I love games made by like one developer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because they're unique. When you're not going through studios or all that kind of stuff, it's very much someone goes, I want this, and I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's games with a singular vision, and they know what they want that game to be.
No, exactly. And it's why sometimes they take longer than you would like. Haunted Chocolatier might come out before I'm 40. Who knows?
I'm still waiting for the Combat Wombat game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And Bradley the Badger. That's only been
Yes.
announced for like 6 months, but I still want Bradley the Badger.
Yeah, give me Bradley the Badger. That's on my fantasy
is it?
game pick. Yeah, I picked it for
Right.
yeah, so I'm hoping it comes up.
Dave doxed himself. Uh-oh. What did I do? I don't
He's
know what I
almost
did.
40.
I'm nowhere near 40.
I am
glad to
over
say,
40.
Man, really does hit close to home when I call you a boomer, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
No, it's one, and I know we're sort of running out of time for the episode, but we have in the coming weeks a PlayStation Direct, a State of Play. We've got Summer Game Fest, and we've got the Xbox Showcase. We're going to get a lot of games announced and all of that, and I'm going to be really interested to see what ones actually happen and what ones don't. Like what games get announced that we just never see again.
Yeah. Yeah, like it is a sad, unfortunate thing that you have to market your game. So you have to announce it at some point. Not every game can be shadow dropped and just be there ready to go. You do have to do promotion, but when do you start that promotion? Do you start it when you're, kind of what you think is halfway through your build? Or do you do it when you've got everything in place and you're just tweaking things? Because
it's a tricky one. Oh, look, I love a shadow drop. I adore a shadow drop. It doesn't make sense from a marketing perspective to do it. Are we taking bets? Hell yeah. Let's get your predictions in the Discord or in the comments, all that kind of thing. We'll pull them together. We'll see what people think we're going to see on it. And my follow-up question. On the Xbox Showcase, Jim, and this is probably a bet between you and me. Do we see the PlayStation logo? Xbox is trying to rebrand. They're talking about all this kind of stuff. They're reviewing exclusivity, all of that. We know that Fable is still coming to PlayStation, is what we've been told. Forza 6 is still coming to PlayStation as far as we're aware. But do they try to roll it back and not talk about PlayStation?
I honestly don't remember seeing, like, I know that the end of the exclusivities was happening because anybody that knows stuff about the video game industry knows that was coming. But I don't remember seeing it in any Xbox kind of showcase where they said, "Oh, this is also coming to PlayStation."
They have a few times.
Oh.
Most the one I mainly remember is the Indiana Jones one, like the Great Circle, like first thing had an PlayStation on it, which was a bit like, whoa, you just use like your window in Game Awards or something like that and chuck the PlayStation logo up at the same time. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one. And just in chat, I saw the question. Shadow Drop is basically announced a game. So you announce a game that's coming out and you go, here's a new game. You've not heard of it before. It's out right now. It's literally available right now. Go buy it.
Hi-Fi Rush did it. Is probably one of the bigger, more recent examples of a shadow drop.
The new God of War Metroidvania, that one that got shadow dropped. Apparently wasn't very good, but it did get shadow dropped officially.
I think like as much as Nintendo infuriate me, at least they generally wait until they've got something to announce before announcing something. So like new Star Fox, like that got announced a couple of weeks ago and is coming out in June. So you only have to wait a couple of months.
You have already forgotten Metroid 4
Prime. Oh, no, that was definitely going to be on my list. And I'm going to blame Retro Studios for that, not Nintendo. I will blame Nintendo for scrapping everything and starting again.
June, your birthday. Yeah, well, we'll see, Jep. It's early June, all these announcements. But PlayStation, Jim, and I think this is one we got to remember here, is putting the State of Play on live in cinemas in America. That says to me that they're confident that this one's a banger. That says to me that they're coming out going, this one is going to go well. They're inviting journalists to the cinema. They're putting the State of Play live on in Alamo Drafthouse, which Sony owns, fair play. But like that to me says there's a level of confidence here beyond just Wolverine.
Yeah, I don't
we
know.
know we're going to see Wolverine.
Like, I feel like that's something that doesn't cost them a lot. Like in terms of your marketing budget, I feel like that doesn't cost you
money.
Yeah,
you're 100% right in terms of money, and do you have to pay to watch it? I'm not sure, Jeff. I haven't had a look because I can't go to it anyway. In terms of marketing budget, you're right. In terms of reputational damage, this it's one that you don't do this if you're not confident, I reckon. Because
yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is probably a little bit more of Sony twisting the knife into Xbox while they've got the upper hand.
I don't know. I'm interested. I have got into my head that this has to be at least like an 8 or 9 out of 10 direct state of play, whatever they call it. Make it the big thing now of back to their E3 presentations. Have every time in June they come out and just hit a really big one that goes on cinemas and stuff. Because the flip side is, if they now announce a state of play in October and they don't put it in a cinema, doesn't that instinctively tell you that it's less good?
Well, yeah, and that's the risk that you start running if you start putting your announcements into a cinema because you want the big screen and you want the visuals, you want the sound and that sort of thing. Like there's two things that occur to me. One that's maybe a little less obvious than the other, and one I've already said, where you just want to try and stick the knife into Xbox. The second one, to me, it may be a little bit about Sony trying to push games as art a bit more. And this is a discussion that hasn't been had. Actually, no, because it was had around that stupid People or Horses game that I don't assume. It was a very art house type of game where it was.
Oh, okay, so not Uma Musume. All right.
No, it was it was very weird, but it was very much like a commentary on, I can't even remember what, but it was bad enough that community groups started getting up in arms about it because it was naked people and I think a little bit of slavery and I never read into it too much about it other than it was very much like an art house film but for video games. So so part of me thinks that by putting this in cinemas, that Sony are maybe wanting to elevate that discussion again. Although a third thing has just occurred to me as well, because they've been doing so well with things like the Last of Us TV show, and like Uncharted wasn't such a big thing. Maybe this PlayStation showcase is about movies and TV shows.
You wonder, but you feel like they would get out ahead of that. Like Nintendo and Sony are both pretty good at going, hey, this is going to be about, partner games, or this is going to be from other developers. And Sony has said here, we're going to start with Wolverine, and then we're going to be looking at upcoming first-party and third-party titles. With that said, if you're starting with Wolverine, you got to have a pretty good closer.
Yeah.
And it's not Final Fantasy VII. Part 3, it's not that. That's going to go to Summer Games, surely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it the new God of War spin-off? The one that's been rumored about, not about Kratos, about the other character that I won't name for spoilers case. Could it be that? Could it be they're going, hey, but no, that got mentioned recently as well. That was one that we're working on it. It's going to be a while. So that's not something you chuck there.
Yeah, and that's it. And because video game development times are so long, like like it's getting back to that announcement thing. Do you announce early and build hype, or do you end up with like a cyberpunk situation or a Beyond Good and Evil 2 situation? Where
That's oh man,
is it a 2 or is it a prequel or whatever the hell it is now, you know?
it's a prequel. We
Mhm.
found that out we found that out I think 2 years ago when we got Beyond Good and Evil remake that had all the character like lore pieces,
Mm.
and we still haven't. I thought that was I legitimately thought that was the play this, catch up on the story, get into Beyond Good and Evil 2 next year.
Mm.
No,
Yep.
not the case. Pragmata 2 is absolutely not even like it's probably in pre-development. There's no way that there's anything to talk about there. I would love a Kingdom Hearts 4 update, but I think that's Summer Games as well. Because you
Yeah.
know we've got a SGA Summer Games Fest SGF coming up. Third party games will want to be there.
Mm.
So I'm really interested, Jim. I think it's going to be a big one.
I wonder
And
if there might be something from Bungie now that, because like I don't know if you I didn't read it in
Destiny 2,
full,
yeah.
but you know I got the impression that I probably should have researched this more before bringing it up, but there was that big announcement that they're basically closing Destiny down, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. So basically, the final shape that came out a while ago. The final shape was like their last big DLC. It was
Mm.
sort of, by all accounts, it was the end of that chapter,
Story.
whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it. It was like it was Avengers Endgame,
Mm.
you know, to put it into another version. And player numbers, all that, have been struggling since. So what they've basically said is, hey, we had an awesome time. We've been playing Destiny 2 for 10 years or whatever it was. This month, we are going to put out the final update, which is essentially putting this all out and just going, it's going to exist. It's here if you want to come back, but we're not supporting it anymore
Mm.
so that they can put more into other things. Because they've got Marathon going at the moment.
Mm.
Give me a Destiny in Marathon, like the Marathon world, but Destiny gameplay. Because I want just PvE. I don't want PvP.
Mm.
So you could see that. Destiny 3 probably in 5 years. You know, give us a chance to miss Destiny. I've heard that said before, and I think it's really the correct way of saying it is give us a chance to want more of it
Yeah,
before you chuck it out.
that's it.
So yeah, potentially more from Bungie, but you've got to remember that they've been working on Marathon. My hope is that we see the wave of new games coming now that they're not doing the live service stuff as much
Yeah.
from Sony.
Well, they've been doing Destiny for God, how many years now? Stupid amount
I
of
think
years.
Destiny 1 came out in 2012.
I was
Someone
gonna
in
guess
Twitch chat will double check
2015,
that.
but let's have a
I
look.
was in uni, so that's what I'm trying to go off of here. And I remember talking to my mate because my mate promised me that Destiny was going to be the biggest game of all time. It was going to change gaming forever. Blah 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 blah. I think he played it for about 3
Destiny
weeks.
1 was released on September the 9th, 2014.
Oh, all right, you were closer. It's, but yeah, you know, when you talk about that, that is a long time.
Yeah. That's
Destiny's been around a long
16
time.
oh, 12, sorry, 12 years of Destiny in some shape or another.
Mm. And yeah, now they're going to set it up. So my understanding, and they haven't sort of gone into it fully, would be everything is available. You can go in and you can play, but there's nothing new.
Yeah.
You know, just enjoy it. If you want to come back and visit, enjoy it.
That's good. That's good. I mean, eventually they'll probably shut down the servers, which is a whole other thing, but for now, at
Yeah, well, you
least you
wonder.
can play it.
You definitely wonder. It'll be an interesting one to see what they
Mm.
do because if you're lucky, by the time they get to that, Stop Killing Games or something may have enough momentum to
In
prevent that.
Yeah, but no,
But
remember that what they're asking for is no backdating. So just for games from now on. So anyway,
it is an easy win
yeah.
for reputation, and you know,
Mm.
especially by that point, you're probably looking at going into PS6 and Xbox, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try to guess what they're going to call theirs,
Mm.
but probably just Xbox all in capitals.
Xbox jazz hands.
I like it. We'll go with that. But pie in the sky, my one thing that I would love to see in the Xbox showcase that we're not going to see, World of Warcraft membership in Games Pass.
Mm.
That would be. It's a small market. It'd be amazing for the 9 million or so people. it would cost Microsoft so much money,
Yeah.
which is why it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
But the dream.
But that said, like they got in with Riot, and you've got all the League of Legends champions unlocked.
Yeah, but do you think that actually costs Riot anything? Because it doesn't. Like, it just means instead of people playing to unlock them, they're playing it to play it. Like,
Mm.
I'm sure I definitely, when they added that into Games Pass, I definitely played more League of Legends, which for League of Legends, that's the win
Yeah.
because they make their money off skin sales. It's not about the character unlocks.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
And if you play a new character because you're able to get to the character day one, and you go, "Oh, I really like this character. I'll pay the $20 to get their release skin."
Yeah. Whereas I'm one of those people that games like that hate, where I'll play it for free and I won't buy any skins.
Nah, see, I accept. I don't want to know how much money I've spent on Riot over the years on cute skins and characters and all that kind of thing. But at the same time, for the hours I put into it, probably got my money's worth.
Yeah.
It's
And
just,
that's
you
it.
know,
Like, I
it's
think there's been games where I've gone hard at them every now and then, and I go, you know what? I've been playing this a lot, and I bought the battle pass because I feel like
yeah.
I'm playing this game for nothing. Like, buying the battle pass is the least I can get through that. So I feel like that's like Marvel Rivals got that, Halo Infinite got that from me when that first started. But yeah, like if a game's free to play though, and I'm just playing it for a bit, like Fortnite, I don't put money into it.
No, that's so fair. And you're right, Ian. But at the same time, if I don't have to pay to unlock the characters, then when I do choose to unlock a character to buy a skin, I have the currency. You know, it's just sitting there unused, ready for it. And do I have it uninstalled at the moment? I do. I'm off League of Legends at the moment. I sort of go in waves of 6 months at a time. I'll play for like 3 months and I'll not play for 6 months, and then Ian will go, "Come back, it's really good right now." And I go, "Oh, go on." And I'll play for 3 months and I'll stop for another 6 months.
But I think that might be it for us, Dave, because it is getting close to. It's probably eating into your WoW time right now.
No, we still got time. It was a good conversation, Jim.
It was.
I definitely think we're going to have a showcase prediction episode before them, which might be next week. That I look at it, so I'll figure out dates and let you know.
And I'll have to do some research because I've got no idea what's coming for PlayStation.
That might be better.
Yeah.
If you could have more accurate predictions than me while doing no research, it might make me a real fraud.
All right, we'll do it that way then. But thank you all for watching wherever you're watching this live on Twitch at twitch.tv/straightjacketjim or twitch.tv/Desane, or on YouTube on the Mondayish channel there, or on wherever you listen to good podcasts where we also happen to be. But yeah, go give us a like. Tell us what you're liking about the show. We're keen to hear what you would like to hear about us, because we know we have opinions that we want to tell you everybody, but we want to know what opinions you would like to hear from us.
That's it. No, thank you all so much for watching, listening. 14 episodes, 7 hours plus, because we never actually last being under 30 minutes.
No.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out.
But yes, and we'll catch everybody next Monday-ish.